Morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Friday. Time to have some fun for the weekend, huh? That's a killer intro. Nailed it. All right. So it is Friday. I'm Tim, and what this is just a recording of my workouts for a year-long body transformation. So we're going to be working out and seeing how far I go. The difference between my transformation this year and other transformations is that I'm going to be not taking any protein supplements or protein powders. So, and also no pre workout, no BCAs, there's no extra supplements. And the reason being, I'm not against any sort of supplement usage, and I've used protein powders for years. I don't know how much good it's doing me. I've been doing it forever, so I'd like to see if I even need it. What can I do without it? How far can I go without it? So that's the goal. The secondary reason is that all the protein powders and supplements are not cheap. And I have one kid started preschool this last year, and I was just looking at it and how much I was spending and looking to save money because preschool is certainly not cheap. So my solution was cutting out all the workout supplements. Man, I can't think this morning. All the supplements. So that's where I'm at. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, not against supplements at all. Not against it. Do what you want. Whatever works best for your body. I'm just seeing what I can get away with. How cheap, how cheaply I can have still a good physique, and that's it. Today is going to be bad. Oh, also, I am absolutely amateur at this. So while this is a recording of my workouts, it's not done with the intention of you copying them. At least not copying the form. Don't watch how I do these exercises and think that's how you do it. I have horrible form, a lot of bad habits. So don't look at it and be like, oh man, like I'm gonna go do it just like that as a step-by-step process. That's not what this is. This is not an instructional video on how to do these exercises. There are a lot of people out there that have really good videos and content based off of that. I would go look at their stuff. If you have no idea what you're doing, you could always go and hire a trainer too, or find a class, something. But my form is horrible, and it's just not something that I tend to get distracted in my head, and it's hard for me to focus on good form. That's my excuse. Don't don't do what I do. All right, today is back. I'm gonna start off with that. Actually, we're gonna start off with some stretching. I'm still sore from my leg day. Almost a little bit. All right. Warm up 10-pound weights. Here we go. Nice and slow. Nothing crazy. Oh. And again. Six, 7, 8. I'll tell you one of the fun things about working out and getting in shape, the thing I like or is motivational for me is when my kid gets excited about their muscles. Like we talk about, like, oh, you gotta eat food so you get big muscles, and at the dinner table we'll like pull out the muscles and be like, yeah, my muscles are getting so big. Oh, dad, my muscles are getting big because I'm eating my food. Like, yeah, yes, your muscles are getting bigger. And then like, and just like last night, like, let me see your muscle, dad. And I flexed and I'm like, that's so big. That's so big, dad. And it makes me happy. Because I remember thinking how strong my dad was. So it's it's cool to be able to show off my muscles to my kids. Long term, long term, I want to be still lifting weights well into my 80s and 90s. I know a lot of people don't think about what it's going to be like to be in your 90s and 80s. And I think as a race, as a human race, a lot of us are going to live longer. We're going to have much longer lives. It's going to be possible. I'm not saying like exponentially longer, like 200, 300 years, but I'm saying I think more of us are going to break 90. More of us are going to break 100. than before, despite what current statistics are on life expectancy. I think it's possible, if long life is your goal, to actually live like a really long life. I plan on living a long life. My great grandmother made it to 96. My grandmother is doing fantastic. So I think I'm going to break 100 in a cakewalk. I think it's going to be easy for me to break 100. My goal is 120. I want to be still in good shape and have good muscle tone when I'm in my 80s and going into my 90s. I don't really want to start falling apart till after 100. So I want people to absolutely not believe me when I say I'm in my 80s. When I say I'm in my 90s, I want to be like, no, you're like in your 70s, you're in your 60s. That's my goal. And I think recognizing that we have this potential for long lives is important, because if you're not planning for it, then you'll reach 80, you'll reach 90, and you'll be falling apart and you'll be miserable. And all the things that they have at that point to keep you living longer, they're going to keep using. Like you'll be miserable for a long time, versus eating healthy, relatively healthy, getting in good shape, staying strong. I think is going to be the thing that's going to make those last few decades really worth being around for. That's 20 pounds. Yeah. So I really want to take the next couple of decades, few decades, to not spend as much time focused on my arms, and which I like having nice arms, and focusing on my core, mainly my lower back, my back muscles, and abs, and not just so that it's aesthetically pleasing, but so that I have so much muscle built up there when I get older and I can't work out. It'll start to deteriorate as you lose muscle mass when you're older. But there'll be so much built up that I'll be good for a long time. Be able to maintain for a long time. That's the goal. Thinking about tomorrow. It's the 40 pounds. One thing you'll see is I'm not lifting super heavy. One, I'm always been super weary about back exercises because I did a lot of manual labor when I was younger. Um, Never really had a job where I was solely like sitting at a desk. Always was moving around, so I was very weary of hurting my back, especially when I was doing like construction or manual labor. So I just stayed away from deadlifts and a lot of back exercises. Uh, Over time, I'm going to build up my back a lot more. Should get a lot better, but it's going to be in stages. I'm not rushing this. The biggest constraint on my one of the biggest constraints on my working out right now is time. Um, I'm a stay-at-home dad, so for now, the limitation is time. So I have to do this all of this like early in the morning. Um, Try to be out here at like 5:45 and done by 6:45. Being done by 6:45 is a must because I gotta get kids ready for school, and my wife has to get to work. And when I didn't have kids, I could do much longer working out, spend more time in the gym. But with kids, it definitely limits your time in a good way. Whenever you talk about like limitations of or things that you can't do because you have kids, there's like a tendency that sounds all negative, and it's not. Yeah, I can't work out as much or get drunk as much or party as much. But there's a lot of upsides to having kids. It's pretty awesome. At least my kids are pretty awesome. I don't know about anyone else's. I only have experience with my own. But it is definitely rewarding. But man, can it also be a struggle? It's not an easy thing. They're converting up to 50-pound dumbbells. Oh, here we go. Here we go again. Dun, 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 dun. One cool thing, forgot to tell you guys, weighed yesterday and was at 96.8 pounds. So I started off, I ended December at 201.6, so 96.8. Pretty good. My target weight to hit in January was 95 pounds. So I'm getting there. I think one of the hard things about working out sometimes is all the stuff that is on the internet that will tell you what exercises are best, what are worst, how to do things, when to do things. And well, I think there's some basic stuff that is pretty much true. Like, don't bend your arm this way because it will break, or don't do like weird things while you're lifting because it'll break something. I think all those things are true. But I think how you lift, how much you lift, when, you gotta kind of figure that stuff out on your own, and then do what works for you, what keeps you going. It's jumping in and just hitting as much weight as possible as fast as you can and getting super gains. Great. It's like what I'm doing, which is a slower, longer process. Um, Great. Either one. I would just say, like, do something. Do something to either get in shape, stay in shape, maintain. That's the part where I'm looking forward to getting to in this adventure of life, is just reaching a level to where okay, I've hit as far as I want to go. I don't need any more like super gains. I'm going to focus on how to maintain what I've got forever. And some of that maintaining what you have does mean you are going to keep pushing, but just not going back in the adventure. There we So while I am recording this and I love lifting, I am limited currently to 5 hours a week. I come in here, as far as lifting, I come out and I lift for an hour, for about an hour, talking and setup. It's a little bit less, but just call it an hour. 5 hours a week. I do currently about 30 to 35 minutes on the treadmill. 3 times a week, I'm doing intervals running. 2 times a week, it's just walking uphill using the inclines, um, but not spending hours. So I'm gonna see what's possible, not just without like the supplements and stuff, but what's possible with the limited schedule. What can you do? And for the record, I do the treadmill, but I hate the treadmill. I'm only doing the treadmill because it's too cold to put my kids in a stroller and push them around. Once it's not too cold, I'll go back to the jogging stroller and pushing them around. I got a great place I love to run around this small lake. Do just over 3 miles, pushing one or two of them. By pushing one, it's about almost 40 pounds. But last summer, when I was pushing two of them, it was like 75 pounds in a double stroller. And that was really fun for uphills. Pushing 75 pounds in a stroller uphill. And my double stroller is not a jogging stroller. It doesn't have the big wheels. So there's not as much relief as a jogging stroller. So pushing that uphill, that was some work. I don't even know if I'm going to use that jogging stroller in the future because they might be too heavy as a combo. All right, here we go. All right. 5 was the goal. 5 sets of 10 at 3 pounds. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna go for another set of 10. All right. Still feeling good. Let's do it again. The hard part about an hour, though, is getting to exhaustion in an hour. You just have to take smaller breaks and cram fast, but I know from working with my body that when I'm done with this, I go take like a 20-minute break, come out and hit it almost as good again. All right. We're gonna roll on down to 40 pounds. Oh man. All right. Just thinking about manual labor. I was thinking about the pyramids and how they were built and what it must have or could have taken to build those pyramids. And then just thought hit me. Imagine what Egyptian architects and planners, guys that built the pyramids, imagine what they could have done, how impressive their structures would be if they had metal and steel like we do. Instead of doing stone, if they did that same ingenuity and put it towards building modern buildings, I bet you the guys that built the pyramids, modern buildings, have blown our buildings out of the water. Nice viewer. Good morning. Welcome to my stream. Doing deadlifts and pondering what Egyptians would have done with modern architecture. or the Romans. We copied the Egyptians, we copied the Romans in our architecture. A lot of what we do today is not super original. So what would get the guys that originally came up with pyramids, originally came up with columns, built today if they had access to all the metal? I'm gonna knock this out faster. I got 14 minutes left. Crypto 29, what's up? Hey, you are the first real person to leave a comment. So thank you. The only other comment I've had or action in this chat room was from a bot. So welcome, thank you. So Crypto 29, do you think the Egyptians would have built better stuff than we're building today with access to our technology? Or do you think they plateaued with the pyramids? What is your Friday routine? Oh, nice. Arms and shoulders. I knock out my arms and shoulders on Monday and Tuesday. They're my favorite workout. So I use those to get me moving at the beginning of the week. I save legs for Wednesday. For your midweek is a good time to destroy myself. Do you stream your workout? Hey man, reconnecting, reconnecting to exercises is good. That motivation can be rough. Believe me. But three out of three is good. It's a good job. There have been months and months and months and months of my life that 3 out of 3 didn't happen. Or there have been months where one exercise a week didn't happen. So three out of 3 is good. What do you have any long term, short term, long term goals? I find that helps me making short term goals I can hit, and then long term goals I can dream about. Being kind to yourself and one day at a time, anyone can do this. That's true. That's true. We're gonna be switching over to some bent over rows. I know. I think that's the hard part about the fitness industry and stuff is the majority of the people you see are in really good shape, and so I think it can be hard to see yourself ever going there. Like as you see, I have a nice gut to work on, but a lot of people will be flat abs and look great, and it's easy to lose track of the fact that it took them time to get there. Not it's not overnight. That's good. Come back from a break, short term. Good. Yeah, stamina and less fat is great. I in 2022, I started that year at a 246. I was 246 pounds, which is the heaviest I'd ever been. And so that year, 2022, my big goal was weight loss. I did work out with weights, but man, just focused on really walking a lot. And then when my body was good for it, doing more jogging and then running, and I managed that year to lose over 60 pounds. But you know, it's a whole year. You know, averaging 5 pounds a month. But when you do 5 pounds a month, especially if you have a lot of fat, it's a very doable goal. The only problem with all the the fat loss, or one of the things, is also lost muscle mass. So gotta work on that. I'm going to not be able to finish this exercise today. That's true. Diet and physical exercise activity. My the reason I was like pulling back from weightlifting is in 2021 I got to 235 pounds, which is the second heaviest I ever weighed. And I was like, okay, like I got into a weight loss contest with my brother and some friends, and by March, I think it was March, I gotten down to 203. I was doing a lot of lifting, a lot of cardio, a lot of working out, but I tore my pectoral muscle, and that kind of put me in a slump. So by the end of the year of 2021, from March to the end, I ended up going from 203 to 246, which really scared me. Um, my dad's been heavier most of my life, and I never wanted to get really heavy because I could see how hard it was for him. And the jump to 246 was so fast. So I was like, okay, in 2002, I am only going to focus on losing fat. I don't want to hurt myself anymore while I'm this heavy, because if I hurt myself again, then I'm going to be depressed or frustrated and put back on the weight. So, yeah, I don't recommend not working out hand in hand with dieting. But for me, it was like, I gotta get in better shape. I gotta lose this fat before I start lifting and risk hurting myself. All right, go. One more minute. I'm not gonna finish this exercise, but I'll make it up later. And since I said something negative about my dad, I do want to just say for the past like 2 years, he's gotten back into the gym and doing the like I think he's doing like 3 days a week, but he goes in for a few hours each time, and he is killing it. He's in his early 60s, and man, it's definitely been motivational to see my dad pumping iron and knocking it out. Yeah. All right, I gotta go. I have a hard out because my wife has to get ready for work, and I gotta take responsibility for our children. So hey, thanks for coming. I hope you have a great Friday, and hope to see you again. And God bless you, and God bless your year and your goals.